Welcome to the opening week of baseball, presented by Burger King. Rangers ballpark in Arlington, jammed again tonight for Game 2 of the 2012 season. Yesterday, a 3-2 tour de force of execution, and the Rangers try to follow that up against the White Sox here tonight. And we welcome you again, Dave Barnett, along with Tom Grieve. The last time Derek Holland took the mound here at the ballpark, a 2-hit shutout for 8 1/3 innings in Game 4 against the St. Louis Cardinals. Not that anybody expects that, but we might see that. That's how good Derek Holland is, and to watch him come into his ability has been just breathtaking.
Yeah, and it's happened right before our very eyes. You know, 3 years ago, Derek was a young kid, raw talent, immense talent, but it wasn't refined yet. And over the last 3 years and into last season, it started to happen. As we got to the second half of the season last year, it did, and it kind of culminated with that game you're talking about, Dave, in the World Series. Derek is stronger now. He's mentally stronger now. He's matured, and he's the kind of kid now that has the confidence to go out and expect to be a winning big league pitcher.
So Derek Holland on the mound for the Rangers, who just got their American League Championship rings. It'll be Jake Peavy for the White Sox, and we've got the lineups in the first pitch coming up next. Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Ford dealer and drive the 2012 F-150 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Ford is the best in Texas. By Budweiser, great times are waiting. Grab some buds. By Burger King, proud sponsor of opening week baseball. And by the Progressive Insurance Group. For money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Another packed house at Rangers ballpark, and the Rangers take the field. And Derek Holland 16-5 last year with a league-leading 4 shutouts. We'll go to work against this lineup for Robin Ventura. Again, Alejandro De Aza leading off in center. Brent Lillibridge in the lineup, batting second and playing left. Adam Dunn, huge homer yesterday, is the DH. Paul Konerko at first. Alex Rios in right. Alexei Ramirez is the shortstop. Tyler Flowers and not A.J. Przinsky is behind the plate. Brett Morrell, rough day yesterday, moves from second to eighth, still at third, and Gordon Beckham again is playing second and batting ninth.
Well, Derek last year was 16-5. His ERA was under 4. Won 12 of his last 13 decisions. That includes the postseason. Also had 4 shutouts last year. That tied for the most in the American League. And as we mentioned in the open, he's gotten bigger, stronger. He's more confident. He's mentally tougher. All the things you would expect from a really young, raw pitcher over the last 3 years that you not maybe would expect, but would hope for. The maturity, the confidence that he brings to the mound now, and he expects to win every time he goes out there. Rangers playing behind him feel the same way.
Since you last saw him on this mound, hair quite a bit longer. Mustache still there.
Mustache has matured a little bit too. It's come a long way. Still has a ways to go.
Well, he is set to go, and so is Alejandro De Aza, who yesterday went 1 for 4. And looks at strike one. "82 degrees for our first pitch. Piazza, after his second career opening day start, he also began the 07 season with the Marlins in their lineup. Strong spring after a terrific 54-game run with the White Sox after coming up from AAA Charlotte in late July, and he pokes that one through the hole past a drawn-in Beltre for a leadoff single. Here is Ron Washington's defense. David Murphy again starting at left with Hamilton in center and Cruz in right. Beltre, Andrews, Kinsler, and Mitch Moreland in the lineup at first. Mike Napoli, first baseman yesterday. Tonight he is behind the plate. And Mitch Moreland getting the start against the right-hander Jake Peavy tonight. Lefty did not start against John Danks yesterday. Holding De Aza as Brent Lillibridge steps up. Lillibridge on his 3rd opening day roster. It's a much younger White Sox roster than the year ago. They got by average over a year per man younger.
Lillibridge didn't play much last year, but when he did, he featured the long ball. He had 13 home runs with only 186 at bats, about a home run right around once every 15 at bats. Never really had a history of being a home run hitter throughout his minor league career, and he's not a big, imposing kind of guy, but he launched a few last year.
Rangers a double play depth, and 2 balls and a strike. Lillibridge, in fact, entered last season with 3 homers and 273 at bats. Last year, only 3 American leaguers had a better home run frequency. Mike Napoli was one of them.
That's pretty amazing.
Curtis Granderson and Jose Bautista in that rarefied group. Nice dig of the low pickoff throw by Moreland. So it did kind of come out of nowhere for Lillibridge. Former 4th-round draft pick by the Pirates out of the University of Washington, where he was 3-time All Pac-10. Holland at 93 evens the count at 2-2.
A good tailing fastball right near the outside corner. The reason it was a couple inches outside, that movement took it off the plate. And that was the reason Lillibridge couldn't make contact with it.
Dialed it up a little more to 94. Yeah, Lillibridge stays alive. Last year, missed the final 20 games of the season, fractured a bone in his right hand. But breaks camp for Robin Ventura this year, age 28. Native of Everett, Washington. And looks at strike 3.
That's moving the ball around. Kept a couple of fastballs away from him. And then you get the hitter looking out over the plate. Napoli sets up inside, and Derek delivers it right on the inside corner. Nice pitch. You can see a number of pitches on the outside corner that set up the inside fastball. Lillibridge thought it was inside. He wasn't ready for it, and that was a good pitch. Caught the strike zone.
So with one out, here is Adam Dunn. Wally Bell is behind the plate today with Mark Wegner at first, Brian Knight at second, and Mike Winters is at third. Winters is the crew chief. Dunn yesterday tying an all-time record, hitting his 8th opening day home run. Ken Griffey Jr. and Frank Robinson were already sitting at 8. Last year only 11, and hardly any in the second half of a miserable season. 6 more plate appearances. That would be the worst batting average in a single season in Major League Baseball history. And who would have thought Adam Dunn capable of such a year?
Well, the 2 years before that, he averaged 265, 260, right around in there. Hit 38 home runs both years and knocked in 103, 105 runs both years. So you definitely didn't see that year coming, especially if you're the White Sox and gave him a whatever $65 million 4-year contract. And I have to think he's a great candidate to be the comeback player this year.
No, if anybody's set up, it's Adam Dunn.
Yeah.
As you might expect, had major difficulty against lefties last year. Hit 064. So Holland challenges him. It runs the count full.
Yeah, you know, here you got a power hitter up there, a home run hitter. He's got a 3-1 count, looking for a fastball. Takes all the way. Just threw that ball right by him.
There goes Diaza, swing and a miss. Napoli's throw is late, and Diaza steals second.
He just overpowered Adam Dunn in that at bat. The 3-1 pitch, he couldn't even pull the trigger on it. And he's a home run hitter. I'm sure he's looking for a fastball. You got a home run count. He took it, and he just threw that fastball right straight by him. Diaza had a pretty good jump. Mike's throw was low, but I think even if the throw was high and on the bag, Diaza probably had that base stolen. Let's take a look. Well, maybe if he dropped it right on the bag, he had a shot at him. But he had to hurry it. Couldn't quite get it there.
So 2 outs, both on strikeouts, and here is Konerko. Paul Konerko playing in his 2000th career game tonight. Strokes that one through the hole, a base hit. Diaza will come home and give Chicago a 1-0 lead, and taking second on the throw will be Konerko.
Well, that was not a smart throw home, and David knows better. He had no chance to get Diaza. You're just better off getting that ball and throwing it into second base. Only something bad can happen. He's going to be safe anyway. And you've got Konerko, who doesn't run all that well, was easily able to take second on the throwing error. Now the first curveball that Derek's thrown hangs up there, and Konerko took advantage of it. He punched out Lillibridge and Dunn, all fastballs. First curveball he tried, Konerko got a base hit.
And Alex Rios gets a breaking ball and pops it right on top of second base for Elvis Andrus. So the White Sox with a run on 2 hits, 1, and the Rangers coming to bat in Game 2 of 2012. Jones.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Much was made after opening day came and went yesterday, and still no contract extension for Ian Kinsler. Now, the Rangers usually have a policy of not negotiating with players during the season. However, when I talked to Ian before the game, it made me think that not yet all hope is lost.
No, I'm not like a strict deadline guy or anything like that. I mean, I'm here. You know, there's really no reason not to, or to put a deadline on it or not to want to try to get something done because I want to stay here. But, you know, right now that's not my focus.
So Ian leaving the door open a bit, saying it is not his focus, but he's not opposed to getting something done during the season. We shall wait and see, guys.
All right, well, he said yesterday it was close enough for him to be disappointed that it wasn't in the bag before the start of opening day, but apparently the door is still open from the sound of things. Jake Peavy.
Well,
This is wide.
You know that Ian wants to stay here, and you know that the Rangers badly want to keep him. And so you just have to think with a little more give and take, a little more negotiation, maybe something good can happen.
Ian again, a double and a home run for the second straight opening day yesterday, tying that club record for opening day homers with Juan Gonzalez and Dean Palmer. Right through that one at 92, and it's 2-2.
Peavy was 7-7 last year. His ERA was close to 5. Pitched much better on the road than he did at home. A lot of strikeouts since 2003, the 6th most in Major League Baseball. 2007, best pitcher in baseball.
Into left field and in front of Lillibridge for a leadoff single. The rest of the lineup will have Andrews batting second ahead of Josh Hamilton. Adrian Beltre, the cleanup, hitting third baseman, with Michael Young DHing. Nelson Cruz in right. David Murphy batting 7th today in left. Mike Napoli is 8th, and Mitch Moreland bats 9th.
Peavy in his career has been very tough on right-hand hitters. They hit .217 against him in his career. He's won an ERA title twice. He's won a strikeout title in Major League Baseball.
Going on the first pitch is Kinsler, and he is out. Gunned down by Tyler Flowers.
Well, that looked like a hit and run, and Elvis just swung and missed at the ball. Runner depends on the hitter to make some contact on that play, and Peavy was able to throw the ball by Elvis. Peavy has an excellent slider. Probably velocity-wise, he might be down a little bit from his heyday, but he's still 89, 92, right around in there with good sinking action and a really good slider.
Oh, 1 pitch to Elvis. White Sox got Jake Peavy at the deadline of the 2009 season from San Diego, thinking they were getting the ace-level Peavy. After all, just at that point, 2 years removed from that Cy Young season. They have not had anything approaching the Padres level of quality from Peavy. Part of it has been health. He declares himself healthy for the first time in a Sox uniform beginning this season. And he gets Elvis to look at strike 3. The White Sox defense is brought to you by the Three Stooges. We'll see if there's any connection as this game goes on. Lillibridge, De Aza, Rios, the outfield. Morel, Ramirez, Beckham, Canerco, the infield. And we've already seen the handiwork of Tyler Flowers. So with 2 outs, here's Josh Hamilton. Yesterday, 2 hits, scored a run, drove in a run. Continuing his enjoyment of all things White Sox. Career .365 average against this pitching staff, his best against any American League opponent. Last year a little bit better, .368. Again, his highest against anyone in the league. This high drive to fairly deep center. Diaz's got a lot of room. And after the leadoff single by Kinsler, Peavy still faces the minimum 3 in the first. Chicago 1-0. Holland deals to Alexei Ramirez, leading off the second inning with a foul ball. Ramirez, Flowers, and Morel here in the second. Alexei yesterday 1 for 4. He had the game tying RBI single with 2 outs in the 6th, which very briefly brought the Sox back from a early 2-0 deficit. Rangers got the run back in the bottom of the inning, the game winner. Ramirez, who defected from his hometown of Pinar del Rio, Cuba, after playing for 7 years for his hometown club. A career .332 hitter in Cuba. Never hit lower than .308. Last year a career year, but he strikes out. Strikeout number 3 for Holland.
Well, that's curveball he's trying to throw Konerko, but he got it up. Konerko was able to get the bat on it, but that was a good one. That stayed down, and Ramirez didn't have a chance.
And let's welcome Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Dave. Community Corner today. Hey, we got a few guys from Lubbock making the trip, enjoying the game. Second Ranger game of the season. Community Corner. Let's talk about the Texas Rangers Baseball Foundation. They have launched a new baseball softball grant program for nonprofit organizations. Those who would like to qualify, they are accepting applications until June 30th. Find out more, log on to TexasRangers.com, TexasRangers.com. This guy looks like a little Kevin Minch right here, doesn't he? All right, good to have you here and your little son. Way to go, guys.
Yeah, he's got the Kevin Minch head. Not a bad call by Jim Knox there.
I don't think I've ever seen a son look more like his father than that little boy.
1-1 to Tyler Flowers.
There he is. Dad and son at the ball game. That's great.
The spitting image that chip
There's
off
not
the old
any
block.
doubt who they belong to. That's great.
And right up the middle from Holland to Kinsler to Moreland.
Yeah, really hit him, but it carried right straight to Kinsler. Derek says he's okay, and I think I hit him right off the bat. Let's take a look.
Yep.
Glanced right off his belt almost. Oh boy, that's a little bit of good fortune right there. Mainly because he didn't get hurt. Secondly, because it turned into an out.
Could not have gone more directly to Ian Kinsler. 1-4-3. And Brent Morel happy to make contact. Talk about a guy who struggled out of the gate. 0 for 4 yesterday. Golden sombrero, 4 strikeouts and an error.
We saw a lot of tough pitches from Kobe Lewis, boy.
And on a play in which he was not charged with an error, was not able to turn 2 on a grounder by Beltre, which allowed Hamilton to take second and eventually score the winning run on the Michael Young single in the 6th. So it was a forgettable day for Brent Morel. He's down to Holland, 0-2.
It's mighty good out in the plaza. Let's see why there's so many people watching the game out there.
Eric again just missing inside, 2-2. Tracking it into foul territory and making the catch is Moreland. Well, Morel at last putting one in play, but the White Sox go on order in the second inning. Metroplex, Metro PCS, and Southwest Airlines are offering a chance to win a trip for 4 to see the Rangers play in Los Angeles. Register to win at metropcsflyaway.com. Adrian Beltre jumps on the first pitch and barely hooks it foul.
It's almost a carbon copy of David Murphy's ball yesterday down the right field line. From up here, it looked like both balls hooked around the foul pole, but not the case. Boy, that ball couldn't have been fouled by more than a foot.
If that. Wow.
But, you know, Ron Washington has a perfect view of that from the dugout and never left the dugout, so there's no doubt it was fouled, but not by much.
Puts a charge into that one, but got under it this time, and Littlebridge trots in for out number 1.
Well, Peavy got away with a hanging slider right there. Both Josh and Adrian just got underneath those balls. High, a lot of hang time on both of them. Just got underneath them. A pretty good slider to hit. Adrian had a good swing at it. Just missed it.
So 1 out for Michael Young. His hit in 4 trips yesterday. The game-winning RBI single. 7th opening day run batted in for Michael. 2 off the career leader, Juan Gonzalez. Made his 11th opening day start, and in fact 11th consecutive opening day start, tying another club record. That of Pudge Rodriguez. And trying to go opposite way on that one. Jake Peavy needing only 12 pitches to get through the first. And only about to throw his 18th. That is struck for a base hit to left. Very much like the hit yesterday for Michael Young. And he's aboard with 1 out for Nelson Cruz.
Same kind of a pitch, same kind of a swing, and same kind of a result that Ian had to lead off the ball game. Pretty good slider down and away. Both hitters kind of hanging in there to make some contact, and both of them with a line drive in front of the left fielder.
So here's Nelly, who takes low. Cruz yesterday 0 for 3, struck out twice. There were a lot of strikeouts. Really, both teams yesterday totaled 20, and there was only 1 walk for both teams combined. Imagine what that total would be if Cruz had been given health for an entire year. Hoping this year for the first time to play over 130 games, hoping to play well over 130 games after an amped up football style offseason workout regimen in Florida, where they do the pre-scouting combine work for college football players. Cruz joining Mike Napoli in that group this year. Came out of it lighter. Says his legs feel much looser. The hamstrings have always been the issue with Cruz.
On the 2-0 pitch, Peavy threw a slider. 3-1 pitch. See if he throws another slider if he comes in with a fastball. Shaking off the sign.
Fastball it was at 92, but it's also low, and there is a walk. And the Rangers have 2 on. Final game of the homestand is a 1:05 start on Thursday. It's Wildlife Education Day for kids and for mom and dad. One of only 2 weekday afternoon games this spring. Use your vacation day wisely to soak in the spring with the boys of summer. Call 972 Rangers for tickets or go to TexasRangers.com. Getaway day before the Rangers fly up for their first road series of the year with the Minnesota Twins. Strike one, outside corner to David Murphy. David yesterday a hit in 3 trips, a couple of strikeouts, and his first opening day start in 4 years. Pops this one into medium center. Diaza has out number 2. So up to Mike Napoli. Try to take advantage of the scoring opportunity against Peavy here in the second. Napoli yesterday took a hat trick, 3 strikeouts. Didn't happen to him too often last year at all. He was scorching the ball toward the end of the Cactus League. His final 6 hits in exhibition play, in fact, were all for extra bases. 3 doubles, 3 homers.
Good slider. Mentioned Peavy has a really good slider. Just missing a little bit, low and away.
Astounding second half for Napoli a year ago. That one catches the outside edge. This is the 5th plate appearance for Napoli against Jake Peavy. He's 1 for 1 and has walked 3 times. Back to second. Michael Young not far off the bag at all. And Mike hearing the chant. A ton of walks in Arizona, tied for 4th in Cactus League bases on balls. Jake Peavy concentrating on staying healthy in Arizona. Didn't pitch all that well. His ERA was near 9. Yeah, he is close to walking the bases full.
Doing a 2-1 changeup, missed. One real positive thing about Mike is he doesn't chase a lot of bad pitches. Makes you get it up, makes you throw strikes.
With Moreland ready, the 3-1 pitch. Ripped to left, a base hit. Young will score, and we're tied at 1.
Well, get him in a fastball count. 3-1. And Mike was ready for that fastball and ripped it over shortstop. Gets the Rangers right on the board and ties this game right up. Trying to throw it down and away. Comes back toward the middle of the plate. And that's why it's a base hit.
Well, the second half of last year, that pitch was not staying in the yard very often to Mike Napoli.
Either that or with a short out the wall in left field.
So he's got his first RBI of the year. And here's Mitch Moreland. The first pitch he sees this year's a strike. Mitch making his 2nd straight opening day roster. Numbers that dipped with his wrist injury, of course, last year. Had surgery on the right wrist December 1st, removing the pisiform bone. Worked all spring to show that he could regain his late 2010 form, and he did. 1-2 homer game. It was against Jake Peavy. was still swinging it well last year. Foul tips that one, and it's 1-2.
See the catcher flash his glove high. I don't know if he'll change his sign right now. He's going to try to throw Mitch a high fastball. Now he's saying, let me start the signs over again. See, he's got tape on his fingers or chalk or something so Peavy can see his fingers better. Yeah, he came with a high fastball and Mitch was able to foul it off.
Our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast, the homers of which we speak. Last August, U.S. Cellular Field. A real no-downer over the bullpen for Mitch Moreland. Seven RBIs in 7 games against Chicago last year. .333 average. He was 3 for 4 in that game. Two pitch, that's fouled off as well.
Peavy's throwing it where the catcher was asking for it both times. A little bit up, a little bit away. Mitch was right on him, but tough to handle. 93-mile-an-hour fastball up and away like that. Peavy reached back. Best velocity he's had early in the game.
About as much velocity as the White Sox expect anymore out of Jake Peavy. No longer mid to high 90s as he was for the Padres. Back to Peavy for out number 3, but the Rangers tie it. A run on 2 hits, and they leave 2 and after 2. White Sox 1, Rangers 1. Give you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. By Whataburger, proud to serve it hot and fresh 24 hours a day. And by the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway miles per gallon. And the first pitch to Gordon Beckham. In there for a strike. Beckham then the top of the order. Diaza and Lillibridge here in the 3rd.
Perfectly placed is Kinsler. 5 in a row retired by Derek Holland after the Konerko single. Got Chicago their first inning run. Derek Holland from July 7th on last year, including the postseason, 12-1. Regular season 10-1. Only Justin Verlander, Cy Young MVP Justin Verlander, had a better run from that point on. He was 13-1. That's the kind of company Derek Holland was keeping once he got it all locked in last year. Piazza led the game with a single, stole second. Bunts that one off Napoli.
Piazza was a waiver claim from Florida a couple of years ago. Had parts of 11 years in the minor leagues without that many at bats. He never really had too many, hasn't had too many seasons where he's had 400 or 500 at bats. So he's been around a while, but maybe coming into his own as a big league player. The White Sox like him, giving him a chance to be their leadoff hitter this year. Hit 322 in AAA last year and then 329 after he was called up to the big leagues. They made an impression last half of the year.
.95 on that one. Piazza with the notion holds up, and it's 2-2. Boy, they're just they're going to bombard us with all these taste-tempting shots from out there. Now it's the nachos we get to enjoy vicariously.
Like the old drive-in movies when they used to show that, and everybody'd leave their car and go to the concession stand. People going to the refrigerator after looking at that. Tough to duplicate it, though.
Piazza making Holland labor through a 7-pitch at bat to this point. Back to him, and now Derek's going to have to hurry. Fires, not in time.
They made a good recovery, and most times you're going to get the runner, but this time it was the leadoff hitter. Piazza runs pretty well. It was an easy play for Derek. He just didn't catch the ball right back to him. Hard hit ball, though. Knocked it down. Piazza was able to beat it.
Just barely. Mark Wegner here to get that call right. And it goes as an E1, the Rangers' second error of the game. But he's got him picked off.
Piazza stole second base in the first inning. He wasn't even going then. He was just taking his secondary lead. That's about as bad as you can get picked off right there. Usually the guy takes a couple of steps towards second as he's trying to get a jump to steal. That time Piazza wasn't going anywhere. He just jumped with his secondary lead way too soon.
He saw Derek looking in at the plate and just turned off the brain, figured that was that, and that was not that.
Right. He learned a good lesson.
So 1-1 to Lillibridge, who struck out looking in the first. No harm on the first Ranger error on the throw home by Murphy in the first inning. As Holland got the next batter, Rios, to pop out and end the inning, and no harm on his error here in the third. But falling behind Lillibridge now 3 balls and a strike. "17 pitches in the first, an economical 14-pitch second inning. And about to throw his 15th pitch of the third to fill the count up.
Good location of that pitch, down and away.
The 3-2 pitch is low. And the first walk issued by Holland. And with 2 outs, he will face Dunn, who in the first inning also worked the count full, but struck out. White Sox have a new hitting coach, Jeff Manto. And you think he didn't spend some time in the spring with Adam Dunn? Mostly trying to get Dunn to extend his swing. Last year just got a little bit shorter and a little bit shorter as he continually saw his confidence drop. But in the spring, I feel like they got it lengthened again to where it was when he was a 40 home run a year machine in the National League. And he hit 6 Cactus League home runs, tied for second. Put one in the upper porch yesterday, 431 feet. Still has the distance. Rangers with a bit of an overshift with Kinsler playing in short right field. And you see Andrews almost directly behind second, and Beltre basically playing shortstop. Outfield swung toward the opposite way. Napoli had a notion of throwing behind Lillibridge.
Tough to throw around Adam Dunn, though. That's a giant of a man in your way.
That's a $10 cab ride.
You don't want to take a chance on a bad throw either. So Mike had a little bit of daylight, but not enough to risk the throw.
Holland not missing by much, but missing. And he's got his 3rd straight full count.
Dunn doesn't swing at many bad pitches.
So this will be pitch number 22 of the inning. Eric at 31 strikes, 21 balls. And it's ripped foul. Harold Baines, first base coach, had to feel that one. His personal radar coming into his general area. Inside, and back-to-back walks.
Yeah, that's not a good walk right there. Derek should be able to handle Dunn. Lefty versus lefty. He's a strikeout candidate. And with 2 outs, you end up walking Lillibridge, walking Dunn, and now you face the best hitter on the White Sox team, and that's Konerko.
So that gets a visit from Mike Maddox. Emily has more on Derek Holland.
Well, guys, you talked about the second half that Derek Holland was able to put together last season. So impressive, and he knows that's the kind of pitcher he can be. So I'm wondering right now what he's going through on the mound, because that is what he wants to be, is consistent, not necessarily perfect all the time or as good as he was in that second half, but he wants to be a consistent performer for this team, and that's what he wants to do starting now in his first start.
Now, he's throwing the ball fine. His command's just not quite what he'd like it to be. He's throwing the ball fine. You've got to make some good pitches here to get out of the inning with Konerko, the hitter. Konerko had the base hit in the first inning that drove in the White Sox run.
"23 pitches to just 4 batters this inning, and strike 1 to Konerko." Our Geico quote tonight has Paul Konerko commenting on the Ranger pitching staff. They aren't just hard throwers, they're quality. One good guy leaves the game, here comes another one. That's why they've gone to 2 World Series. Good to see our friend Richard Justice on MLB.com. That's what the White Sox saw yesterday. Colby Lewis followed by Ogando, Adams, and Nathan, and it's 0-2.
Took a little off right there. Had Konerko out in front of it. Hasn't thrown many changeups. And he located it well, too.
The 0-2 pitch hit well deep right center field and off the wall. So Lillibridge scores. Here comes Dunn, and he scores, and it's a double for Konerko on an 0-2 pitch, and it's 3-1 White Sox.
Well, Derek will be the first one to tell you that wasn't a very good pitch. First pitch he threw to Konerko in the first inning was a hanging curveball that he hit into left field for an RBI. He gets ahead of him with a good fastball and a good changeup. And not sure what that was. It was something out over the plate. Maybe another changeup. I couldn't tell. Whatever it was, Konerko with 2 strikes, trying to make contact, go back straight away, and drove it to right center field. He's just a good hitter. A little too good of a pitch on 0-2, though, I think you'd have to say. Not a terrible pitch, but not the pitch Derek was trying to make, I don't think.
So Konerko with all 3 Chicago RBIs. Here's Rios. He ended the first, popping to short. Inning started quietly. 2-pitch ground out by Beckham. Diaza bounced back to Holland. Couldn't make the play. E1, he immediately picked Diaza off of first. So the bases were empty with 2 outs, and all this has resulted from a couple of 2-out walks. That throw just in time, but the White Sox come up with 2 runs on only 1 hit. Ian Kinsler, who went deep again on an opening day yesterday, leading off the ring.
Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Rangers Out of Market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit TexasRangers.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. And strike one to Kinsler. Led off with a single and was caught stealing. That will fall and get past Diaz to the wall. Kinsler headed for three. It's a leadoff triple.
Diaz was trying to be aggressive, but like to probably go back and play it on a hop now that he has another chance. He hits the ball on the line. Diaz comes in. Really had no chance to catch that ball. He's going to dive for it, but it's several feet out in front of him. He can't block it. And instead of what should have been a leadoff single, now it's a leadoff triple. And he's got a great chance to sneak a run in right here.
Elvis Andrus takes high and tight. Elvis caught looking in the first. And Ian Kinsler safe at third. Safe and secure. New York life. Two and 0. Yesterday, Elvis bunting on his own after the Kinsler double to get him to third from where he scored on the Hamilton sac fly, making Ron Washington very happy with Elvis. He'll get him home here with a base hit, and it's 3-2.
White Sox score two after a couple of walks with 2 outs. And the Rangers come right back with a couple of line drives, make it a 1-run game.
Kinsler trotting home. Ian now has had 6 at-bats yesterday and today, and has a cycle with his single and triple already today. We're just in the third. Here's Hamilton. Right, a fairly deep center in the first. And out in front of that one. The Rangers, for the second time, coming from behind.
Balked.
Second base umpire Brian Knight telling Peavy about it. And Robin Ventura now would like his explanation. Coming from Wally Bell.
Oh, there it is. He started his stretch. His right hand came toward his glove like he was going to start his stretch just a little bit before he changed his mind and went back. That's definitely a balk.
So that means tying run scoring position, but he gets a dribbler off the bat of Hamilton, bobbles, and the throw off the bat.
There's an off-speed pitch. Josh cued it right off the end of the bat. When Peavy went to pick it up, the ball just stayed on the ground. And by the time he could get it to first base, no chance to get Josh. pitch down and away right off the end of the bat. Watch it stop when it hits the ground right there. It just stays down. Peavy makes a pretty good play. Josh is a little bit too fast.
So an infield single for Hamilton. Putting runners on the corners with nobody out and a run already in. Get a chance to see Josh at full-on sprint. And that is a sight. Also a chance to see Don Cooper, Sox pitching coach.
Well, umpires they just have a trained eye to see a balk. The second base umpire had his eye on the pitcher. And I think to most of us just sitting in the stands watching the game, you never pick that up. It takes slow motion replay for us to be able to see that. And it's just subtle little move that they're able to pick up because of their trained eye and the concentration they have out there.
Brian Knight got that one.
Sure did.
Peavy now gets Adrian Beltre, who missed a home run by maybe a foot, just to the left of the left field foul pole.
Yeah, when you see a call like that, you really see how good the umpires are. And, you know, from time to time, we all get on the umpires. That's kind of the name of the game, and they understand that. But bottom line is they are really good at what they do.
Peavy featuring sliders this inning. After that long, loud foul, Beltre just got under one and skied it to Little Bridge in left. So we see Peavy's approach the second time, and that one is also ripped, but quite a bit more foul. And we look at our Ford leaderboard. Gold Glove, Silver Slugger, third baseman Buddy Bell did it in '84. George Brett the next year. Gruber, Boggs, Matt Williams, Chavez, Longoria. Last year, Adrian Beltre joined that crew. Winning his third Gold Glove. Lofted high to right. Rios is under it. And as Andrews tags, he will jog home with the tying run. It's 3-3. Adrian doing the job with his first RBI. Peavy contemplating his second short-lived lead as Michael Young steps in. He singled on an 0-2 pitch to score the Rangers' first run back in the second. On a 2-out Mike Napoli single. Through that slider. Double play depth in the infield. Outfield, as usual, against Michael, swung the other way. The fastball finds the corner 0-2. Same count as Michael's first at bat.
Close. Pretty good try.
Thought about it.
But one thing you love about this crowd, I can remember through most of Ranger years, sellout on opening day and 15 or 20,000 the next day.
Oh, yeah.
So it's sellout on opening day, sellout the second day, and maybe another one tomorrow.
Well hit down the left field line, and that one hooking deep but foul.
The Rangers having a lot of good swings against Peavy so far today. They've hit some balls hard foul. Most of the base hits have been hit pretty well. 6 hits through 2 2/3.
Well, you look at the SRO areas out in the outfield, jam-packed.
Yeah. That's great to see.
Office decks jam-packed. Every seat sold. Maybe 49,000 again. We'll find out. And Michael went around and knew it. And there's out number 2, and for PV, strikeout number 2.
Your pitcher trying to go through the Ranger lineup. Good cutter right there to Michael. You get to Michael, now you get him out. Now it's 6th hitter is Cruz, then Murphy. Then you come to the bottom of the order, 8th and 9th. You've got Napoli hitting 8th and Mitch Moreland hitting 9th. There's just not a soft spot in the lineup. You got to bear down to every hitter. Not that you don't bear down to all hitters, but some lineups are much easier to navigate through than the Rangers. In fact, almost everyone. One lineup that's pretty tough to navigate through, and that's the Tigers. They beat the Red Sox today 10-0. Prince Fielder, Miguel Cabrera both went deep twice. That's a pretty good lineup too.
Yeah, another good lineup today anyway. Kansas City's.
They've got a good young lineup. We saw them in spring training. They do have a good lineup. They can hit.
Cruz sends this one out to left field, and Brent Lillibridge squeezes the third out. But the 2-run lead didn't even last a half inning. Rangers pull even, 2 runs on 3 hits to the man left. Kinsler, Beltre his first RBI. Holland searching for it, and especially struggling with Paul Konerko. If he faces him again here in the 4th, it will really be an inning of struggles. Ramirez, Flowers, and Morel, 6, 7, and 8 in the Ventura lineup.
Yeah, probably a safe bet. If Konerko hits this inning, it'll be a bad inning for Derek, and someone else will have to face him probably. Derek's 62 pitches right now without an out in the 4th inning, so he got his pitch count up there last inning. There's a good fastball. Trying to make that fastball a couple of times last inning, just missing with it.
And he no doubt will say after the game what really got him. Probably the walk to Lillibridge, even ahead of the walk to Dunn, with 2 outs, nobody on after his pickoff of Diaza.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. 2 outs and nobody on. It's one thing for that kind of a walk to Lillibridge. Adam Dunn walks 100 times frequently. He's got a great eye, and he's got ultimate power, so you have to be a little careful to him.
Into left, coming on to make the running catch is David Murphy. Let's check in with Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Dave. Big day before the game, big happenings. The Rangers receive their American League Championship rings. Here's the maker of it, Jostens. This is Chris Poitras, who works for this. What was the difference between this ring compared to last? What did you do different?
Last year it was all white, so white diamonds on the tee. This year the organization wanted to add a little color to it, so they added custom-cut red rubies to have the tee. So, and then they also added custom stones for the red and the blue to bring out the prominent Texas Rangers logo.
Rangers seemed to like it before the game. You said you got one more to make, right?
Yeah, we're hoping next year. Yep, absolutely.
A World Series ring would be nice, huh? Who wants this ring, huh? There we go. No, just kidding. Just kidding there, Chris. All right, Dave.
Quite the ceremony for the second straight year before the game. Hope you got a chance to watch it. All the Rangers on the red carpet to receive that ring. Owners Ray Davis, Bob Simpson, Nolan Ryan, and local youngsters doing the honors with the delivery. Man by man, they all lined up, and Brad Newton got their shot. I hope to do it again, this time next year, just a little bit bigger, shower, gaudier. World Series championship ring. 2-2 to Tyler Flowers. Banged one off the small of Holland's back, which carried him directly to Kinsler for a 1-4-3 ground out in the second. This one is directly to Elvis Andrus.
That's just what Derek could need, a nice quick inning after a big pitch inning in the third. But he had 2 outs quickly in the third, too.
All 3 Chicago runs have come with 2 outs, so see if he can handle the success here so far in the 4th inning by getting Brent Burrell, who fouled out, to Mitch Moreland to end the second. This one drives Cruz back almost to the wall. But it is a 1-2-3 inning. Economically pitched, and Derek Holland needed that in the 4th. The reconstructed visitors bullpen out in left center field, the Captain Morgan Club. In time for AT&T trivia question. The Rangers had 3 left-handers win 10 or more games last season. When was the only other time Texas had multiple lefties with double-digit wins? It's not all that long ago. That place is getting great reviews from those who have checked it out, the Captain Morgan Club. just beyond the standing room only area, the Budweiser bow tie. Newly shady, air conditioned outfield. Couple floors worth. And strike one to David Murphy, who applied to center his first trip. Murphy, Napoli, and Moreland bottom third of the order. And the Ranger fourth. David hoping to turn it around against his Sox staff, against whom he was just 2 for 23 last year. But David hoping he's got a better start at him this year. Very aware that he has been a career slow starter.
Tough pitch to foul off right there. Cutter right on the outside corner. Backdoor pitch.
So he thinks this year it's just all about taking pressure off himself, realizing he's just a part of a very potent lineup. Does not need to do more than is required. And that is a fair ball, and into the corner it goes. And to second base goes David Murphy with a leadoff double.
Good job by David right there. Stands a little bit off the plate. Pitchers like to throw him away. But when David's swinging the bat well, this is what he can do. Take a tough pitch like that the other way. Catcher sets up away. Looks like the pitch is toward the outside corner. No problem for David, who waits on it nicely. Good concentration and just drives it inside the left field line for a double.
How important, Tom, will that be to him to be able to go to the opposite field?
Well, it's an important part of his game because pitchers do like to throw him away. But again, when David's swinging the bat well, it's not a problem. He can pull the inside pitch and he can hit the opposite field with the pitch away. He gets in trouble sometimes when he pulls off that pitch, but when he swings like that, it's no problem for him. That was a good at bat for David.
Fouled off the mask of Tyler Flowers. Peavy up, no balls and 2 strikes, and Manny is still never retired. Napoli with the RBI single in the second, tying it at 1. Now 2 for 2 with 3 walks. Lifetime against Peavy.
Even a power hitter like Mike in this situation, man on second, no outs, is trying to hit the ball to right field on the first 2 swings. A little tougher to do it when you're down 0-2. You just have to hit it where you can. That just shows you the kind of team effort the Rangers get from everybody in the lineup.
Looks at a fastball.
That was one that Flowers had no idea that pitch was coming. He was lucky to knock that pitch down. He's looking for an off-speed pitch, and Peavy threw him a fastball. He threw it for a strike, got the called strike, but he was just able to knock that ball down. He didn't catch it. Watch his glove. Looking for a pitch down. It's a fastball, and he just kind of slaps at it, and luckily he was able to knock it down. Big strikeout for Peavy, though. Man on second, nobody out.
It's his third. And here's Mitch Moreland, who grounded back to Peavy his first trip. Jake Peavy says he has the same approach as when he was winning the Cy Young and making a couple All-Star teams with the Padres. He says spent this offseason watching a lot of old video, wanting to emulate that Jake Peavy, even if he's off by a couple of miles per hour on his fastball. Grounded to Konerko for out number 2, advances Murphy to third. So with 2 outs, Ian Kinsler will try and bring him home and give the Rangers their first lead. We're only in the 4th. Ian halfway to a cycle. He's got the hard part out of the way. Leadoff triple and scored in the 3rd. Led the first with a single. and then was caught stealing. Peavy talking about tonight, his first start. Said tonight I will have no finesse in my games, about grabbing the ball, getting my bearings, finding the strike zone, and we'll find out where we stand. Well, he's been unable to hold on to a couple of early leads. Trying to keep it tied here. Against a man who has already, in order, doubled, homered, singled, and tripled. Not even halfway through game 2. Strike 2. Peavy just 30. Seems like he should be older with what he's accomplished out of Mobile. .6'1", 195. All-time Padres strikeout leader. This time a year ago on the disabled list, he had surgery for a detached lat.
He was able to fight that fastball up and in off of. Tough pitch from Peavy, but he fouled it off and hung in there.
And then back away, and Ian takes for ball 2. Last year, Peavy still a little over a month away from his debut, which didn't come until May 11th. But pronounced himself healthy this spring. To right field, Rios back into the corner, has to reach up at the edge of the track, but there's out number 3. So the Rangers get nothing out of Murphy's leadoff double. And through 4, Peavy keeps it 3-3. First, and it was about lefties with double-digit victories. 3 last year, Holland, Harrison, and Wilson. Only other time Rangers had even 2 lefties with 10 or more wins was 2001. Doug Davis and Darren Oliver. First ball hitting. Gordon Beckham drives that one out to Josh Hamilton. And it's the 5th, and we welcome Mark McLemore to the booth from your new fancy digs out there. That's nice out there.
Aren't you guys jealous? It's extremely nice. I can't tell you how great that view is from there. This is an awesome view too, but that's just wonderful out there. We can see everything, just turn it around, and it's great. The fans are still right below us. They're not right behind us, but just right there below us. So it's a great place to watch a ball game.
Nice AC in the summertime too.
Nice AC. I like it.
Here's Diaz. Well, we have one thing on you. We have met Captain Morgan. We've talked to Captain Morgan. Captain Morgan is a friend of ours.
Well, I'm actually living in Captain Morgan's house. How about that?
That's even better.
Advantage match.
You just trumped him.
Rent free, is, I might add.
Well, back to more mundane matters. What is your impression of Derek Holland's first start so far?
I like it. I like it. He's made some mistakes, and the White Sox have hit him around a little bit. But I think, Jag, you can attest to this. This time last year, when Derek would give up a run, it wouldn't just be one run. He wouldn't, for some reason, be able to stop the bleeding. And right now, he's done that. He's given up 3 runs so far, but it hasn't been that big inning, which normally would knock him out of the ballgame.
Yeah, I think Ron Washington would say the same thing. That's part of the maturity that you see in Derek now. Ability to work out of jams much better.
Well, when you think about it, anybody who can throw a 2-hit shutout through 8 1/3 innings in World Series Game 4, what could he ever fear again? What could ever make him doubt himself again? And he gets the Yaza rung up on Mike Winters, the third base umpire. Shouldn't that game have been, as we look at it again, shouldn't Game 4 have been a mentally and emotionally transformative experience for Derek Holland as far as where he goes from there for the rest of his career?
I think it's definitely something that he should be able to build on. You're in that situation on the biggest stage there is, and you throw a performance out there like that. There shouldn't be much else that can rattle you. He was just tremendous in that, and not just the World Series and the playoffs, but the second half of last year. It just seems as though he found it. Whatever it is for Derek Holland, it seems as though he found it, and he's been pouring it on ever since.
I think what it was, Mac, was kind of the icing on the cake. He threw 4 shutouts last year, went 12-1 in the second 3.5 months of the season. So I think he was probably feeling that way anyway, and then to have his last start, the game you're talking about, Dave, just kind of solidified it for him, put the icing on the cake.
1-2 to Lillibridge. Lillibridge a key at bat in the third with 2 outs, nobody on, working a walk. Dunn followed with a walk, and then the big hit for the White Sox, the 2-run double by Konerko. But there's strike 3, and there's a second straight 1-2-3 inning. He has retired the Sox in order in 3 of the first 5 in a 3-3 game. Fans will receive a replica American League trophy presented by Mission. Plus, it's an ice cream sundae with Bluebell ice cream for kids for only $1. Get your tickets. There are not many of them left at TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS. Matt Harrison and Gavin Floyd tomorrow at 7 here. And in the Ranger fifth, 2, 3, and 4 against Jake Peavy and Elvis Andrews, who had an RBI single and scored the tying run back in the third. Drove in Kinsler after his leadoff triple. Mac, what do you see in Jake Peavy? He finally says he's healthy again.
I think that's the key, and he's just going right after hitters. He's been very consistent in the strike zone. He's got a slider, cutter working. I like how he's challenging hitters now. I think last year and even the year before, he just looked like he was scuffling a lot, just not able to pitch the way that he was, the way that he pitched before when he was with the Padres in the National League, just dominating. And he looks good. He looks very strong right now.
The Sox, when they got him, were hoping they would get the Cy Young caliber Peavy. What do you think they realistically should expect of him now?
Well, I think, health is always the biggest thing. If a player's healthy, he has a chance to be what he can be. I think Peavy, now that he's healthy, I think he has a chance to get back to where he was. When you're trying to pitch through pain and injury or even play any position, it's extremely difficult to do that, and it's extremely difficult to be one of the best in the game.
That is definitely what he was. At his best, he was the best for the Padres. Unanimous Cy Young Award winner in 2007. He was 19-7, ERA of 2.54, 240 strikeouts, and called strike 3, and Elvis knew it. Fourth strikeout, 3 have been looking. And let's go back to our Fox Sports Southwest studio for Mazda's CX-5 game break, and here's Leslie McCaslin. And Mark McLemore in strike 1 to Hamilton. Josh's fly to center and Reese on an infield hit.
Boy, he just missed a couple today, boy. First time up to center and that one to right. Just a little bit underneath both of them.
Mac, before the game, Ron Washington was talking at length about how happy he was that when Craig Gentry came into the game at the end yesterday, he and Josh Hamilton, mainly Josh, had arranged among themselves that Josh would move from center to left because he knew Gentry was more comfortable in center field. The manager was not required to get involved in that. How big is that? How unusual, if it's unusual, is that for players to decide that on their own and then just go out there and do it?
It's a bit unusual, but it's also a bit unusual to have two guys on the same team that can play that center field well.
Beltre drives this one to the wall in left center field, and Diaza hauls it in. Boy, Elvis, Adrian Beltre has been very close to a couple of home runs tonight. That shortens the visit tonight of Mark McLemore.
I'm not doing my job. I got to score some runs, don't I?
Sorry, okay, you made it quick anyway.
Quick and painless.
2 outs to give the White Sox a 3-1 lead. Didn't last long. Piazza diving for what should have been a single. It turned into a Kinsler triple. And a quick run as Elvis Andrus drove it home. And we remain 3-3 now into the 6th. And we'll see how Holland handles the heart of the order. Dunn, who has struck out, worked a 2-out walk ahead of the Konerko double. And the White Sox first baseman, then Alex Rios, who was 0 for 2. Derek has retired 7 straight since the Konerko double, keeping his pitch count from getting completely out of hand. He threw a lot of pitches in that third. Now at 85, 53 of them for strikes.
Yeah, he'll need a quick inning to get into the 7th inning.
And behind Dunn, who again last year against left-handed pitching hit .064. He walks for the 2nd straight time. To Emily Jones.
Well, just to follow up on what you guys were talking about with Derek Holland, it's just like you said, he threw 29 pitches and gave up 2 runs in that 2nd inning, or 3rd inning rather, but responded well, throwing just 11 pitches in the 4th and 5th, and that's what he's talking about. When he doesn't have his best stuff, he wants to be consistent enough to stay in the game, keep his team in it, and then hand it over to the bullpen later in the game.
And by the way, the bullpen, as it was stacked up yesterday so perfectly, Ogando in the 7th, Adams in the 8th, and Nathan in the 9th. All 3 are available, according to Ron Washington, again tonight.
What he wants to do to Konerko right here is throw the sinker down and away, try to get Konerko to hit the ball on the ground and get a double play. He's gotten the ball up twice to Konerko, and Konerko's had a single and a double.
That one sends Hamilton over into the gap, but he's got plenty of room out there for out number 1. And it is Mark Lowe who gets up and begins to loosen. So 1 out, Done at first. Double play depth to the infield for Rios, who has popped to short and grounded to 3rd. Alex Rios looking for his first hit of the year. He is 0 for 5. That one sending Cruz drifting back. He's still looking for his first hit. Another quick out helping the Holland cause here in the 6th. The vantage point of those folks out in the new center field plaza area.
That's a great view, and every time we show it out there, it sure looks like there's a lot of happy people sitting out there. It looks like a popular place already.
We can look right down into the bullpen. Good curve for strike 1 to Ramirez, who has struck out and flied to left.
Probably the happiest people in the ballpark every day of the season will be the visiting bullpen guys who remember what it used to be like. Now actually can watch a game in comfort out there.
Hamilton drifts back. Holland works around the leadoff walk to Dunn. And Derek at 92 pitches through 6 in a 3-3 tie. By Sonic, tonight's jackpot is worth $200 in dinner for two to Sonic Drive-In. And tonight the Rangers are hitting for Glenda Vandy Griff from Dallas. And the Ranger hits a grand slam during this inning. Glenda Vandy Griff from Dallas earns $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. Michael Young singled in the second, scored the first Ranger run on an apple he hit. Last time up, struck out. Both pitchers, Tom, really settling in since they struggled through the third.
Yeah, Peavy has had a couple of good quick innings. Had the leadoff double to Murphy, but he pitched around that in the fourth inning. Then a quick 1-2-3 inning in the fifth. There's been several fly balls that the Rangers just missed. Cruz, Beltre, Hamilton twice. But he's made a lot of good pitches, including the last two strikeouts to Michael Young. Two good pitches on the outside part of the plate.
Ruby now has set down 10 of the last 11 Ranger hitters. The only exception being Murphy with that leadoff double in the fourth. The end of that inning stranded at third. Here's Cruz, who has walked and flied to left. 0 for 4 for the season. Yesterday, Rangers won despite being out hit. They are out hitting Chicago tonight 7-3, but have never led. Eric Holland issues in the third. A couple of costly walks. The home run cut there by Cruz, as Alexi Ogando replaces Mark Lowe out in the Ranger pen. And Will Oman, the veteran lefty, now throwing in the Chicago bullpen. Peavy hoping Cruz would reach for that one. He didn't. It's 3-2. Jake has only walked one. That was Cruz back in the second.
Two out of the next three hitters, Murphy and Moreland, are left-hand hitters. So this could be Peavy's last hitter, depending on what happens.
His 90th pitch, lofted out to shallow right. Rios over toward the line for the out.
Well, he gets Cruz, and he'll get a chance to pitch to David Murphy as well.
Murphy, the only Ranger to reach since the third, with his leadoff double in the fourth. Driven just fair down the left field line into the corner. First time up, he flied to center. Peavy looked to you like he's just getting more confident by the batter.
I think he's making a lot of good pitches. He's gotten away with some, but he's made a lot of good pitches as well. He knows how to pitch.
Murphy goes to the other corner this time, and he pulls this double.
Last time up, he had a pitch on the outside part of the plate that he drove down the left field line. This time, Peavy comes inside with a cutter. Pretty good pitch. And David shows exactly what we were talking about, that when he's feeling good at the plate, he can pull the inside pitch. and hit the pitch on the outside corner the other way. That's pretty much back-to-back at bats and a great example of that.
So a 2-out RBI opportunity for Napoli, who pops the first pitch up. Shallow right for Rios, and that does it. So Murphy comes up with a second straight double. Rangers can't bring him home. We get to the 7th inning now in our 3-3 tie. Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Drive the 2012 F-150, Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Ford is the best in Texas. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Jack in the Box. Love bacon? Then try the new BLT cheeseburger combo for only $4.99 plus tax. Dave Barnett and Tom Grieve. And Derek Holland is done after 6 innings, 93 pitches, 57 of which were strikes. He gives way to Alexi Ogando.
That was a solid outing for Derek. I think he'd like to go back to the 3rd inning after there were 2 out, nobody on. The 2 walks both came around, 2 2-out walks both came around to score. Konerko was the tough hitter for him. RBI single, 2 RBI double.
Tyler Flowers has grounded out twice. And he starts the Sox quest to get a ball into play against Alexi, who struck out the side yesterday in the 7th. Just overwhelming after they had seen 88 to 90 mile-an-hour fastballs from Colby Lewis. Here comes Ogando throwing 97-98. Ball in play. Beltre makes the throw. Our Jimmy John's delivery of the game comes from yesterday's 7th inning. Beckham swinging. Diaza and Morel likewise.
That's not fair, that last pitch.
Part of a 13 strikeouts performance by the 4 Rangers involved in the game yesterday. Brent Morel is fouled out and flied to right. Strikeout we just showed you, the last of his 4 on opening day. Ogando's #1 job beginning this season, get the ball into Mike Adams' hands in the 8th inning.
Good call right there. Elvis called. You could see him call off Beltre. Beltre could have caught that ball and probably made the play. It would have been tougher because he was running towards second base. And you can see Beltre kind of peel off right at the end. I think Elvis was calling for the ball, and that was the right call. Good communication right there. Beltre's probably said, I'm a Gold Glove third baseman now. You don't have to be calling me off. But see, Adrian was way over near the line, guarding the line, so he had a long way to go. And it was an easy play for Elvis, and Beltre's running to get out of his way so he can make an accurate throw.
Gordon Beckham pops the first pitch straight up. And down to Napoli. No strikeouts today, but again, the White Sox can do nothing in the 7th inning with Alexi Ogando. Stretch time at the ballpark. Burger King, Ian Kinsler, again, a big day, a triple, a single, a run scored. RBIs by Andrews and Napoli. That was all against Jake Peavy, who was gone after 6 innings. 3 runs on the 8 hits, struck out 5, walked 1, 94 pitches, 66 for strikes. Maybe that Baylor magic will rub off on the Ranger hat. As the veteran Will Oman takes over for the bottom of the 7th inning. And the first up, the left-handed Mitch Moreland, who twice grounded out against Peavy. Oman starting his 2nd year with the White Sox, 2 years ago with the Orioles and the Marlins. And before that, the Dodgers, Braves, and Cubs. Breaking ball fouled off, and Oman quickly out in front of Mitch. No balls and 2 strikes. Oman now 34. Native of Frankfurt, Germany, out of Pepperdine University. 8th round pick by the Cubs in '98. Moreland on the top of the order, Kinsler and Andrews. Konerko had Moreland played right on the line. He retires him unassisted for the second straight time. And our Coors Light freeze can.
We're talking all game long how there's been several Ranger hitters just missed balls. Both Beltre and Hamilton got underneath them. Cruz got underneath it, and then Josh again to right field just misses it. All three of those guys just a tick off from hitting the long ball.
So Will Ullman does his job. He gets his left-handed hitter, and he will give way now to the rookie right-hander, Addison Reed. He's in to face off with Kinsler. The Samsung Mobile 500 race weekend, April 12th through the 14th. You could win tickets by texting FSN to 63767. Text FSN to 63767 right now for a chance to win. 47,867, the second straight sellout here at the ballpark, and for the second straight time, the Rangers will get a look at the rookie out of San Diego State in the seventh inning. Addison Reed retired the side in order yesterday. That included a liner to right off the bat of Ian Kinsler.
Well, he looked good doing it too. Mid-90s fastball and a hard slider. Looks like he's got typical late inning to closer type stuff.
Addison Reed began the year ranked by Baseball America the White Sox #1 prospect with the best slider in their system. First time he's on the opening day roster. And he's even at a ball and a strike. Outstanding in the spring, 2.45 ERA. 11 strikeouts in 11 innings in 11 outings. Final 4 innings were all scoreless out in Arizona. And was in the conversation, and the conversation continues. It's basically speculation as we look at the veteran Matt Thornton as to who Robin Ventura's closer is. He has not officially revealed who his closer is. Thornton, after pitching yesterday in a non-closing situation, said, well, I guess we can eliminate 2, meaning himself and Reed. And that pointed the finger toward Hector Santiago. Well hit, but well foul. Halfway up into the club section. Back in the third inning against Jake Peavy.
A big play in the game right there. Piazza trying to get that ball that he really didn't have much of a chance for. Turned it into a leadoff triple.
to right field again. A liner to Rios, and Reed has retired Kinsler the same way twice.
The Rangers just haven't quite connected. We showed several of the balls that they just have gotten underneath and hit long fly balls to the outfield. There's been several balls hit very well, but pulled foul. But Peavy, after the third inning, really hung in there well. His last 3 innings were strong.
So 2 outs, nobody on for Elvis, who was twice struck out looking. In between those, singled in a run, had scored a run, and the Rangers tied it with their 2 in the bottom of the third. He drove home Kinsler. Took second on a balk, third on an infield hit by Hamilton, scored on Beltre's sac fly. And that was the last run scored in this game. That could be trouble. A running grab, snow cone style, into the corner by Rios. And Oman and Reed do the job at a 1-2-3 bottom of the 7th. Chevy Hometown Kids. It's not about the score, it's about the experience. So tune in each Saturday at 10 a.m. here on Fox Sports Southwest, or visit hometownkids.tv for more information. Packed house now. We'll see the third Ranger pitcher of the evening, and for the second straight 8th inning, it is Mike Adams. Yesterday faced 4 batters in the 8th, allowing just a single to Konerko. Numbers last year as the top setup man in baseball. Microscopic ERA and opponent batting average. Strikeout to walk ratio through the roof as well. And first up, he's got Alejandro De Aza. He got Chicago started with leadoff single, a steal of second, scored on the first Konerko RBI, single in the first. Since then, he reached on a Holland error and was immediately picked off, and struck out last time up. The man from Corpus Christi against the man from Guaymate, Dominican Republic, and it's 0-2.
Diaz has been playing since 2001. He's only 27 years old.
Almost hit by that one. 4 days from now, Alejandro will turn 28. One-two pitch, and he went around.
Oh, he set him up for that pitch with the one that almost hit him inside. Obviously made him very aware of the inside pitch. Then Mike zipped it toward the outside corner to get him.
Let's check in with Jim Knox.
All right, Dave, time for the progressive fan of the game. It has to be Stacy. You see, she got married to Buddy yesterday. Could have gone to Cancun, could have gone to Paris, but decided the ballpark. Why the ballpark, Stacy?
We love the Rangers. What better place to start?
There we go. How was the ceremony, Buddy?
Yeah, I got the most beautiful woman in the world. I got the biggest fans in the world, but ceremony was so-so.
So-so. Okay, well, here's the bag to make it a big-time ceremony. Congratulations, Stacy, the progressive fan of the game. All right, guys, way to go.
You know, more and more people are doing that. Honeymooning here at the ballpark.
We find 4 or 5 every year. Well, it's not bad if you can get Jim Knox to put you on television.
That's right.
You can always go on a trip.
One thing to honeymoon here, another thing to get widespread TV exposure for doing so. Lillibridge pops that one into shallow center for Hamilton. And 2 quick outs for Adams. The Ranger bullpen perfect so far. 5 up, 5 down for Ogando and Mike Adams.
Yeah, and the good thing for Ogando, and hopefully Mike too, is pitching back-to-back days to start the season. Ogando's had 2 pretty quick innings, 3 strikeouts yesterday and only 7 or 8 pitches today. So even though he's pitched back-to-back days, he hasn't been taxed as far as the pitch count goes. Mike's thrown 6 pitches so far this inning. If he can get a quick out with Dunn, he'll be pretty much in the same situation.
Ranger pitching has retired 15 of the last 16 White Sox batters, the exception being Adam Dunn, who led the 6th with his 2nd walk. Their only base runner since the Konerko 2-run double, scoring Lillibridge and Dunn after their 2-out walks back in the 3rd. White Sox with only 3 base hits. And there is number 4 as Dunn goes opposite field. So, go-ahead runner is aboard for Konerko.
Well, in this situation, the infielders, 3rd and 1st, will play the line. The outfielders play a little bit deeper right here. So that hopefully this time, if Konerko is able to hit one in the gap, the outfielders will be deep enough to get to the ball, relay it in before Dunn can come around to score. He did that in the 3rd inning on Konerko's double.
I'm talking about making the most of your hits. Until that Dunn single, White Sox had 3, as we say. Konerko had 2 of the 3, and they accounted for all 3 of their runs. RBI single in the 1st, and then that 3rd inning 2-bagger. Last time up, he flied to center. And a great spring at 356 in the Cactus League. Driving in 7 runs. Tonight, his first 3 of the regular season. And he'll wait now for a 2-0 pitch. Thornton looking ready out in the Chicago bullpen. Hamilton, Beltray, and Young, heart of the Ranger order, will hit in the bottom half of the inning. And that one just missed. Here was a 0-2 pitch, 2-on-2 out in the 3rd from Holland. And he drove it past Cruz to the wall in right center. Playing in his 2000th career game tonight. 35-year-old, native of Providence, Rhode Island. 3-0 pitch. Just catches the inside corner. Second all-time franchise history behind Frank Thomas, homers and runs batted in. Rip foul, and it's 3-2. And Robbie Ross beginning to loosen up. May make his major league debut tonight. We'll see.
Yeah, Ron would probably go to Joe Nathan if the Rangers score in the 8th and take a lead. But he won't go to Joe Nathan if it's a tie ball game. You wouldn't think.
So there goes Dunn, the 3-2 pitch.
Boy, that's a jam shot. Got Konerko to swing at a bad pitch, it looked like.
Looked like it was ball 4. Adams works around the 2-out Dunn hit. Hamilton ready to lead off the Ranger eighth. NASCAR on Fox heads to Texas and goes under the lights in prime time as defending champion Matt Kenseth will lead the world's best drivers to chase the checkered flag. Fox Sports is proud to bring you exclusive coverage of Sprint Cup Series racing presented by Farmers live from the Texas Motor Speedway Saturday, April 14th. And that will be at 6 Central. 3-3 game to the bottom of the 8th. And the 4th Chicago pitcher is the veteran left-hander Matt Thornton.
Thornton had a good inning yesterday, quick inning. Veteran guy, good arm, mid-90s fastball. 96 miles an hour with his first one today.
He worked the 8th, in which Andrus reached on an error by the third baseman Morel. He got Hamilton to pop to short. Beltre to pop to second, and Young to fly to right. 2 fly balls sandwiched in between an infield hit in the 3rd for Josh tonight. To left field, Lillibridge is there.
That's 3 straight line drives right at the outfielders. Kinsler and Andrus to right field, and now Josh to left field.
Adrian Beltre has had some hard hit outs. One of which, though, drove in a run back in the 3rd. Sacrifice fly that tied the game. Still the last run scored in this game. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Thornton in the closer mix this spring. But well, with everybody else in the dark as to who Robin Ventura's final selection would be, but second straight game he's not used in that role. And Ventura still coy yesterday when it looked pretty obvious that he'd selected Hector Santiago. So, well, or Jesse Crane or Nate Jones. Grounded toward the hole, backhand pick, Ramirez. There's out number 2.
Ramirez, a smooth, slick fielding shortstop. Good range, good hands, good arm.
So 2 outs. Here's Michael Young. Singled and scored in the second. And the last 2 trips, Peavy struck him out both times. For Peavy tonight, 6 innings, 3 runs on 8 hits. Struck out 5, walked only 1 through 94 pitches. And that one, Ramirez can't put a finger on. Ripped through the hole. Michael is 2 for 4. And with a go-ahead run aboard, Thornton will face Nelson Cruz. Veteran of the pen, 35. 7th season with the Sox. Cruz has walked and flied out twice. Good time here for his first hit of the regular season. To put that one up in the Captain Morgan Club, but it's 0-2. Thornton still outstanding stuff. Mid-90s fastball.
Okay, in his career, more strikeouts than innings pitched. Not a lot of walks. A nice smooth arm action. Just flips it up there, it looks like, at 96 miles an hour. 35 years old, still throwing hard.
No doubt as a surprise to a few in Chicago, but he is not their closer. It'll be a natural selection for it. This grounder up the middle for a base hit. And Michael Young will take third. The Rangers have the go-ahead run 90 feet away in the bottom of the 8th for David Murphy.
Ramirez was playing Nelly over toward third base, playing him to pull. And Nelly rolled it a little bit to the right, a straightaway shortstop, and Ramirez had no play on it. David's had a couple of hits, a couple of doubles, as a matter of fact. All it'll take is a single right here to get the go-ahead run in. Joe Nathan is warmed up and ready to come in if the Rangers score. And maybe if they don't score, we'll see.
Murphy very respectful of Thornton. And that one hits him.
Well, it's probably lucky that it hit him for Thornton because it looked like it was going to be a wild pitch anyway. But that's not what Thornton was trying to do right there to a left-hand hitter with Napoli coming up next. But if somehow David escapes that, you know, maybe it goes back to the string. Yeah, I don't think there's any way that Flowers would have caught that ball.
Definitely headed there.
Got David right in the elbow. Says he's okay. We'll hope he is.
David has thought for a while Thornton had the best stuff. Anybody in the White Sox bullpen. Here comes Don Cooper. And the problem to discuss is Mike Napoli, who singled it a run in the second, scored young on that 2-out hit. He has since struck out looking and flied to right. And Joe Nathan hoping he's got another lead to protect.
Thornton's always been tough on left-hand hitters. He let one get away from him right there.
Thornton ready, Napoli ready. Loaded up with 2 outs and low for ball 1. Two and 0.
Thornton got the first 2 outs, Hamilton and Beltre, then single, hit by pitch, 2-0 count to Napoli right here.
He is a pitch away from walking in the go-ahead run. Just at the top of the zone. Or was it?
Borderline. Oh, he was going for it. Let's say that for him. He had a swing at that fastball. Runners will be going right here, though. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. He didn't get cheated. Some of us would have been in traction after that swing.
Young at third, Cruz at second, Murphy at first with 2 outs. The 3-2 pitch. Chopped to the third baseman, and Morel will beat Cruz to the bag. Thornton fights back from falling behind 3-0 to Napoli. He can smile because he kept it 3-3 into the 9th.
Tied at 3. The closer, Joe Nathan, on once again for these Texas Rangers. He made his Texas debut last night. The Rangers got a great performance out of him, pitching just 11 pitches and gets out of the inning, and he said it was the ideal start for him as well.
It's always fun when you have the crowd like that, full stadium. Obviously, there's been a lot of electricity in this stadium over the last couple of years, so you know, wanted to do the right thing and walk away with a win yesterday, most important thing.
And he's got a chance to do it once again tonight. I did joke with him, did he hope to keep his pitch count under, under double digits? He said he was just fine with 11. We'll see what he does tonight, guys.
I think everybody's okay with 11 pitches. In a 1-2-3 ninth, it was bottom third of the order yesterday. And he's got the middle today. And there's strike one to Alex Rios, 0 for 3.
Well, Wash is going with Nathan in a tie game. His thought here is go with his best guy. He's got a great offense. Shut the White Sox down in the top of the ninth, score in the bottom of the ninth, and get a walk-off win. It'd be pretty nice if Nathan could get a save in the first game and pitch well here and get a win in this game.
Pinpoint at 93, 1-2. Nathan says he is all the way back from Tommy John a couple of years ago. Well hit to center field. Hamilton can't get it. It is out of here. Alex Rios puts the White Sox up 4-3.
The White Sox haven't had a lot of good swings today, but that was a good one by Rios. And Nathan had kept the ball down until that pitch. Trying to throw the fastball down and away, and it comes up right in the center of the plate. And Rios gave it a charge.
So the Rangers will have to come from behind for the third time tonight. Here's Ramirez. How close Josh was. A foot, maybe 18 inches from bringing that one back. Alex Rios after a down power year last year. First home run this year. And Ramirez sends that one out to left center for out number one. He flies out for the third straight time after an early strikeout.
I definitely know who the White Sox closer is now.
Now, mystery finally being wrapped up as Tyler Flowers steps up. He has grounded out all three times. It is the left-hander Hector Santiago. Really, for them, the speculation toward the end of spring had come down to Reed, Thornton, Santiago. Some wondering about Nate Jones, another high-throwing rookie. That has played it close to the vest. Brand new manager. Flowers is down on 3 pitches. And hi to Dana Larson.
And hi to you, Dave and Tom. Good time to remind everybody that we've got the post-game show, Rangers Live, coming up right after the game. Join me and Mark McLemore, as well as, of course, Emily Jones in the clubhouse for player reaction. We'll hear from the manager, Ron Washington, and you won't want to miss hearing from Derek Holland about his first start of the season. That is all coming up right after the game. But for now, let's get it back to you, Dave.
All right, Dana, and here's Brent Morrell. 0 for 3 tonight, 0 for 7 for the year so far. Has fouled out, flied out, and grounded out after 4 strikeouts yesterday. Looking ahead to the Ranger ninth. 9-1-2. Moreland, Kinsler, and Andrews. Andrews handles out number 3. But the White Sox take the lead on the leadoff home run. Just beyond the grasp of Hamilton in center by Rios.
Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Ford dealer. Drive the 2012 F-150 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Ford is the best in Texas. By Budweiser, great times are waiting. Grab some buds. By Burger King, proud sponsor of opening week baseball. And by the Progressive Insurance Group for money-saving car insurance quotes. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Hector Santiago, 24, from Newark, New Jersey, in his third major league game. And the assignment to save the first win of the year for the White Sox. First up, he's got Mitch Moreland. A total of 5 1/3 innings on his resume. Very young White Sox bullpen.
They got a lot of hard throwers in their bullpen, boy. Reed, Nate Jones, Jesse Crane, Santiago, Thornton, all those guys are mid-90s.
This one is looped out to shallow center field. Trouble. Basket catch by Ramirez. All the way over from shortstop.
Yeah, there's an art to going back after pop-ups. Not all infielders do it well. You just saw one that did a great job right there. The best I've ever seen going after a pop-up from the infield, Omar Vizquel. That's a pretty nice play by Ramirez right there. He's got the ball, but he's also a little bit worried about Beckham sliding toward him. He made a nice play.
Now Kinsler, who has singled, tripled, fly to right, and line to right. And 95 at the knees. Well, it turned Santiago around off-season before 2011 spring training. Went to Puerto Rico for winter ball. Developed his off-speed stuff. He gets Kinsler to ground to Ramirez. And the Rangers are down to their final out. Last chance is Elvis Andrus. Last time up, he lined to right. Great running catch in the corner by Rios. That was against Reed in the 7th. He has twice struck out looking, singled in a run, and scored the tying run back in the 3rd. Hamilton would be next. Santiago started this spring, just ranked as the number 11 prospect in the White Sox organization. Emerged as their closer. Works quickly. Falls behind, 3 balls and a strike. Been behind 2 of the 3 Rangers he's faced here in the ninth. Andrus down to his and the Rangers' final strike. To right field, to Rios, and quite a 9th inning for Alex Rios, who wins it with a leadoff home run off of Joe Nathan and squeezes the final out of the White Sox' first victory of the season, 4-3.
Well, the Rangers out hit the White Sox 10-5, but the White Sox got the back-to-back walks that led to 2 runs in the 3rd, and then Rios, with one of the few balls hit hard other than Konerko's, I guess, got one up in the air off Joe Nathan, and that was the winner.
Well, the Rangers were playing for sole possession of first in the West, too, because the Angels lost today to Kansas City 6-3. Turns out they're both 1-1.
This one goes to Chicago. 4-3. More coming from the ballpark.